Hello everyone, welcome to A Fistful of Dice. I'm Matt, and in this video I'm going to be answering D&D Puzzle of the Week's 30-day challenge questions. I've been seeing a few people do those, and I know it's supposed to be a 30-day challenge, but I don't have the commitment for that sort of thing. So I'm going to do like Andrew at DawnForgeCast did and Jason at Roleplay Game. And I'm just going to do a two-part video. In the first video, I'm going to answer the first 15. In the second video, I'm going to answer the second 15. So I really haven't looked at these questions yet. I've just watched all the videos that other people have done, so I'm sort of familiar with the questions, but I'm just kind of going into it blind. I've got the list up here. So I'm just going to start working down the line, guys. All right. I wanted to do some different videos this week, but I can't edit anything right now with my computer, and all the videos I want to do require a little bit of editing. So hopefully I will get my graphics card up and running here soon, so I can do some more practical videos that I want to do. But in any case, let's get going here. So question number 1 is your start in gaming. So I've talked about this a little bit in my Tabletop Tales series, but the way that I got started in gaming was through my dad, and you know, I've always played video games and played different RPGs on the computer, but the first tabletop role-playing game that I played was West End Games' Star Wars D6, and I played a session of that. Just me and my dad. My dad was GMing and I was playing, and I sort of had a Han Solo ripoff character that I was playing, and I took down a Scout Walker, and I had my own ship and stuff, and I was probably like 10 or 11 at the time, so that was sort of my first RPG. But then from there, I got into, a couple years later, got into D&D 3rd Edition when 3rd Edition came out, and I've been gaming pretty consistently since then. So yeah, it's been a while since I've started gaming. There's been some hiatuses here and there of a couple years, but for the most part, ever since my dad got me into it, I've been pretty hooked. So and then, you know, playing games like Baldur's Gate when I was a kid was huge. Baldur's Gate and then Neverwinter Nights. So and then my favorite race, I would have to say that my favorite race is probably the dwarves. And I just like the dwarves because like the elves, they have a lot of lore behind them and a lot of history and tradition. There are a lot of tropes that you can use as a dwarf character to give your character a lot of personality. You know, their love of gold, their hatred of certain monsters, their hardiness, their sort of distrust of arcane magic and stuff like that. But it's also cool because with things like dwarves and elves, you can take those tropes and kind of turn them on their head and play a character that is sort of atypical. So like with a dwarf, you know, like a dwarf sorcerer would be very weird and kind of cool to play. So I just really enjoy dwarves. I think they're really cool, and I like the concept of dwarves. And when it comes to, you know, the dwarf elf dichotomy, I definitely fall on the dwarf side. So favorite class, probably. You know, it's probably a toss-up between Rogue and Cleric, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to Cleric. I like classes that are really open-ended and very versatile, so like Fighter, Rogue, Cleric, those kind of classes where you can really customize the class. Clerics can just be so many different things. They're versatile fighters, but they can also cast Divine Magic. They can cast while in armor. I just feel like a cleric is really the best of both worlds. And jeez, apparently I'm tired or something. A lot of my favorite characters that I've played have been clerics. I really enjoy playing clerics, so I will say clerics. Favorite setting or world? Forgotten Realms. I've gamed the most in the Forgotten Realms, and I know that setting the best. And jeez, I really enjoy the Ed Greenwood Forgotten Realms. I have a lot of books on the Forgotten Realms. I grew up reading the Icewind Dale books, you know, the Drizzt books, and really getting to know the Forgotten Realms. And I played in several campaigns, long campaigns in the Forgotten Realms. And I'm pretty excited right now because we're in a campaign. I'm playing in a campaign right now where we're headed to the Forgotten Realms, so I'm very excited about that. Favorite die? Definitely the D20. The D20 is just it looks awesome. It's you know, it's a famous die. I love the D20 and I love rolling it. And then beyond the D20, probably the D6 is my favorite, just because I have a lot of fond memories of the West End Games Star Wars D6. Oh, jeez. Favorite deity? Favorite deity? I should have thought about this one beforehand. I'll say Raziel, but I think Raziel is an Archon. I don't think Raziel is actually considered a deity. I think it's an Archon under tier. But I really like the idea of Raziel because it's like violent. It's just the eradication of evil. The Raziel has these clerics or paladins called Fists of Raziel, and they're basically like crusaders against evil, and they're like violent crusaders. I just like the idea of like lawful good that is just like unforgiving. But because I'm not sure if Raziel is actually considered a deity, I will say I really like Gruumsh, the Orcish deity, the one-eyed god. I just think Gruumsh is really, really cool. Gruumsh. I'm never really sure how to Gruumsh. Never really sure how to pronounce his name, but it's got 2 U's in it. Favorite edition? I will say 3.5/Pathfinder. That's the system I've played the most, the system I know the best, and with that system I can do everything I want to do as a player or a DM. So, favorite character I've played? I've talked about this character before in a video. I think it was in a Fistful of Questions video, but I really like my gnomish tinkerer, Damp Foyer. He was a multi-classed fighter wizard who all of his oops, something just messed up. Okay. All of his spells I roleplayed as gadgets. And he was very fun to play, and he ended up sacrificing himself to save a bunch of people. It's a long story, but you can go listen to it in the Fistful of Dice, or Fistful of Questions video. I really enjoy playing Damp. He's really fun. Favorite character I've never played? I suppose that means, like, a character concept that I've never been able to roll up and play, but I don't think I might have to skip that one. I don't think I have a favorite character that I've never been able to play. I think most characters I come up with I've played in some form or another, so. Craziest thing in a game? Definitely, okay, as a player, the time that, our medic in Star Wars Saga Edition killed the whole party with the thermal detonator. Just threw it into the room and closed the door. That was the craziest thing as a player. As a GM, it was when the party decided to become domestic terrorists, and they blew up a huge portion of the city that they were staying in. Basically, they hijacked this shipment of this stuff called Shadow Slick, which is like this highly flammable extraplanar liquid. It's like an oil, basically, and they primed it with alchemist fire, like vials. I don't know why I'm so tired. Jeez Louise, I guess I shouldn't be making a video. and they like disguised themselves and delivered it to this gang of tieflings, and ended up like the explosion was a lot bigger than they anticipated. But that was something that I had not planned for or even thought was a possibility, but they came up with the idea and they strategized it, so I let it happen, and it really took the campaign in a cool direction. So yeah, definitely blowing up the city. Favorite adventure I've run? I'm going to say Sunless Citadel. I've ran Sunless Citadel twice, played in it once, and it's one of my favorite modules. And like since I've run it twice now, I really like am able to inject my own ideas into it. And I have a couple posts up on the blog about how I switched it up. But it's kind of cool being able to take a module that you know really well and just changing it around completely to what you want it to be. You know, keeping the core sort of adventure there, but yeah, I was really happy with the way that my Sunless Citadel module turned out. So Sunless Citadel is probably my favorite adventure that I've run. Favorite location or dungeon type? I don't know specifically. I always like desert dungeons, like a pyramid or something like that. Ruins. I like dungeons that have lore behind them, dungeons that served a purpose before they became a dungeon. So like a temple to some old god, or an old labyrinth or something like that. You know, just a dungeon that was not always a dungeon. Those are my favorite dungeons. That way the players can kind of discover the lore behind the dungeon as they explore it. I really like that kind of stuff. Favorite trap? I'm not a big fan of crude traps, like goblin traps, you know, pitfalls and spikes at the bottom and javelins coming out of the wall. I really like elaborate mechanized traps. Things that would be in like, I don't know, like a highly intelligent creature would set up, you know, a spinning blade coming across the floor, or multiple panels on a floor sliding out, so you have to move across them a certain way. So yeah, I would just say like elaborate mechanized traps. I don't have like a favorite specific trap. I've never really thought about it. Favorite puzzle? I really like puzzles that require strategy and like inward thinking. Puzzles that like make the players think on what their characters would know about the situation and of themselves. Like I had a puzzle one time where like an animated statue they had to play like 2 truths and a lie with an animated statue, and it was kind of a cool, not necessarily a puzzle, but just sort of a riddle or something like that. I like puzzles that involve the characters personally. Favorite NPC would probably be Hanash Deadeye, who was a Rakshasa warrior who was a friend to the party and ended up betraying them at the end of the campaign in a it was so cool. It was such a cool twist, and it totally caught everyone off guard. So probably Hanash Deadeye, but I'm going to play him anymore because the party killed him after he betrayed them. Or Argus Claypool, who is a half-orc artifacts dealer, very suave, sophisticated half-orc who puts on an air of brutality to keep up appearances, but he's dead too. Man, I don't have any live NPCs that I'm particularly fond of, I guess. I'll say an NPC in the Sunless Citadel module that I ran was named Gem, and she was really into rocks. And like the party went and met her, and she was like, she had like these goggles on, like lenses that would come down like spider lenses, and she was just like enthralled with rocks. And if anyone talked to her about her rocks, she would talk your ear off about rocks. So, but my favorite NPC that I've ever played is definitely Hanash Deadeye. So, all right, so that was the first 15. Sorry, I'm so tired and yawning. I don't know what the deal is with that. I guess I need to get more sleep. But in any case, that's the first 15. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and then I'm going to do part 2. So, yeah, great questions, Puzzle of the Week. These are fun to think about. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. So, thanks, guys, and look forward to some meatier content in the next couple weeks here. Also, quick announcement. I have ordered some Hearst Arts molds. 2 of them. I ordered the cracked tile mold and the basic block mold. I am going to be doing a video series on my casting of these molds. They should be arriving on Friday, and then next week I'll start the casting process. I'm going to do a video that's kind of partly tutorial, partly like look at what Matt's doing, I don't know what I'm doing, type situation. So I'm really, really looking forward to casting some 3D dungeon terrain. So, and it was fairly cheap. You know, I ordered the molds, and I ordered like a 25-pound bag of Merlin's Magic plaster, and you know, I went to Walmart and picked up, you know, the putty knife and stuff, and cups and all the other stuff that I'm going to need. So I am all set to go. I'm just waiting for the molds and the plaster to arrive. They both ship today. So look forward to that. I'm going to be doing a few videos on that. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. Look forward to part 2 of this video, and I will see you guys later. Happy gaming.